Today, I got the Platinum Trophy for Hotline Miami. It's an old school top-down shooter game that was released in 2012, and it has 35 trophies, including the Platinum. And I did not enjoy doing this in the slightest. Here's the journey. Before the first level, there's a little tutorial on how to play a game, and then there's a little intro cutscene type thing. These happens before and after every level. But honestly, I'm not even going to try and act like I understand the story. All that I can tell you is you're required to kill a lot of people for some reason. So the way this game works is you'll wake up and you'll get a phone call. The phone call is telling you where to go. You can get there by walking out to the car. There's also a trophy attached to walking to the car 60 times. And then before you start a level, you can choose what mask you want to wear. Each mask grants you different abilities throughout the level. They'll come in handy later. And there's also trophies for unlocking every mask in the game. The masks are unlocked by getting a high score on every level or completing certain niche level goals. And sometimes you can just find them around the map. So there's that too. This game is one of those ones that's just complete trial and error. You need to play through a level a few times to understand where the enemies spawn, where they move, and what weapons they have. And on this first level, I actually got my first trophy for getting a 4x kill combo.
Yeah. 4x combo, okay. All you gotta do is just fail over and over again.
The Prelude's obviously the easiest level, and I finished it with an A- score, which kind of worried me a bit because I knew there was a trophy attached to getting an A+ rank on every single level.
Okay, A-. I know I need to get a grade A on every level because I just quickly scanned a guy I played. But I assume A means A, not A-. We'll see.
Chapter 1's the first level you get introduced to guns, and I just found it so frustrating. Trying to aim with the joysticks for some reason is just impossible, and their hit markers are terrible. And the enemies are so inconsistent. Sometimes you'll play through the level and they won't see you at all. They're literally just I don't even know how to describe it. They got no social awareness. They're fully autistic. They don't know what's going on. They can't pick up social cues. And then you'll respawn and play through it again, and they're John Wick. I call it a skill issue if you want, but I really hated using the guns. I thought the melee weapons were much easier to use. While playing through this chapter, I also got my next trophy, which I actually think was buggy. The trophies in this game are very buggy in general, you'll see that later, but this trophy was gotten for throwing a weapon at an enemy and then causing that enemy to drop their weapon onto a third enemy, which I just didn't do. I didn't throw my weapon at all and I got the trophy, but I'm not complaining on this occasion.
Domino effect. Throw a weapon at an I can't read. Sorry, I can't read.
Whenever you shoot an enemy or strike him with a melee weapon, sometimes they don't completely die, which can be very frustrating when you think you've killed everyone and then you walk through the level and they come up from behind you and just one-shot you and tickle your bumhole. It's really annoying. So sometimes you can knock people down, but they're not dead and you're required to execute them. But in this case, you can press R1 or L1, I think it was L1, and you actually use them as a human shield, which gave me a trophy.
Nigel Lowry, use a human shield. I don't know how I did this, but sure.
Chapter 5 was the first level where I really started to get frustrated with the game because I realized it was just like luck if you could kill an enemy or not. Sometimes they wouldn't see you and you could walk right up to them and melee them, or they just turned around and one-shot you with Chris Kyle level accuracy. It's so frustrating. It's just RNG. It's just luck. I got another trophy here for literally pressing the wrong button. In this game, R1's to shoot and L1's to throw your weapon. And I accidentally threw my weapon instead of shooting and it bounced off a wall and hit an enemy, which gave me a trophy.
Oh, playing full. Hit an enemy with a weapon bounced against a wall. Okay, every trophy I've gotten has been by mistake.
All my rage on Chapter 5 ended up paying off because I got a trophy for getting the 6x combo.
Combo immediate. Form a 6x combo. Okay.
The next trophy I got was for getting 1,989 kills. This is a trophy because the game's actually set in 1989, which was a terrible year. I mean, the Berlin Wall fell, Bush became president, and Taylor Swift was born. So overall, horrible year.
1989. Oh, kill 1,989 enemies. Great.
My next trophy after that was for killing 99 dogs. Dogs, in my opinion, are easily the most annoying enemy in the game. Because one, you can't kill them with your bare hands, you need to have a weapon. And two, they're so fast and you can't see them half the time because you're going to see so much of the level. So you'll think you're in an empty room and a dog will just run at you from off screen and lick peanut butter off your balls and you're dead. And it's really frustrating.
Dog. Kill 99 dogs. That makes me feel bad.
The next trophy was for destroying 200 glass panels, which again is so annoying. Those blue walls there are glass, which means enemies can see you through those walls. And in this level, for example, every wall is made of glass, so you're always seen by someone. You can't walk forward and try to target one enemy because 8 others will see you. It's just annoying. This level especially just has the worst design. This game's so frustrating, man. I'm not even playing anymore. I'm doing the edit, and I still find it frustrating. But here's the trophy.
Well, they didn't. Yeah. Destroy 200 glass panels. Okay. Doesn't matter.
I really struggled on this level. I couldn't beat it by walking around normally because of the glass, like I mentioned. So my tactic was just to stand here and spray and pray and hope I killed every enemy, which gave me a trophy, luckily.
Combo throw. Forming 8 times. Still doesn't matter.
I also got another trophy right after for doing the exact same thing.
Form a 10 times.
My next trophy came during chapter 11. And this is the only death-related trophy in the game. It's for dying 1,000 times, and I got it not even just over halfway through the game, which is really embarrassing.
Oh. Die 1,000 times. I don't think I'm even halfway through the game, dude.
My next trophy came a long time after. It wasn't until chapter 14 I got the trophy for getting a 12 times combo, which was the last combo related trophy.
Right.
I then moved on to the final chapter, which was really easy. I just had to kill these pink panther thingies. I think they were either panthers or cats. Then I had to throw a knife in this guy's face and execute him. Then I had to kill this guy by dodging his bullets and throwing knives at him. I'm referring to everyone as this guy or that guy because I don't know who anyone is in this game. I didn't understand the story at all. Then we get to execute this guy. And we walk out onto the balcony and have a cigarette. And eventually the trophy pops for completing the main story.
Beat the main story. Right. I don't know how I feel about this game. It is fun, but it pissed me off. It is fucking pissed me off.
The next few levels actually ended up being very easy, and I got through them pretty quickly. And on this one right here, I actually got my first A+ rank, which gave me a trophy. I'm showing you the entire run, that's why it's sped up, so enjoy. Also, if you've ever played this game, or you've just watched the video to this point, you'll know that this game has some of the best music in any game I've ever heard. It's definitely the best part of the game in my opinion, so enjoy the game's music.
That kid, I got one. I used to get A+ at each chapter. Okay, that was a very easy level.
I quickly made it to the real final mission where you just have to walk into this level and use this computer, which you don't have the code for just yet, which I end up getting later. But you go downstairs into the sewers here, and then you come across these two people, and then you literally just have a little dialogue interaction with them, and you walk back to your car and you get the trophy for beating the epilogue.
That's it. Beat the epilogue. Okay.
So there's actually a collectible on this game called puzzle pieces, and there's a puzzle piece on every level in the game. These puzzle pieces, once solved, actually make up the code for that computer we saw in the epilogue, and there is a trophy for logging into that computer. But first, I had to find every puzzle piece, so I had to chuck on a guide, play through the whole game again, and find every single collectible. This took me about 3 hours. Puzzle pieces, not easy to find, by the way. See that little pink orb right there? That's a puzzle piece. That was also the final puzzle piece I needed, and a little delayed, but the trophy popped.
Oh, I should detail. Collect all the puzzle pieces, and I just forgot my phone.
Then I just had to beat the puzzle, which is a lie. I was born in Melbourne, Australia, but I got a trophy for this.
Boss, solve the puzzle. Great.
Then I just had to go back into the epilogue and this time use the computer, and I got a trophy for beating the epilogue correctly, I guess.
This is it. Beat the epilogue with the secret ending. Okay. Slowly making progress.
I then decided to try and unlock all the masks, which required me to once again replay a lot of the levels in the game. If you're going to go for this platinum, definitely just have a guide with you and pick up the puzzle pieces and the masks as you play through the game. But I accidentally unlocked a lot of trophies, the first one being for unlocking every weapon in the game.
The new friends. Unlock all weapons. Great.
The next trophy I got was for finding Jones the Crocodile, which is one of the masks, and I don't think anyone would be able to find this without a guide. You have to go to chapter 5 and go outside of the house and open the manhole with the crowbar. It's just too many things that you wouldn't think of doing right there. And then you find the mask and you get the trophy.
Sewer alligator. Find Jones the crocodile. Okay, great.
So with the masks, there's a trophy for getting every mask, for unlocking them. And then there's another trophy for wearing every mask at least once. So after I'd unlock a mask, I'd make sure to play through the prelude with it, just because it was the quickest level. And when I played through Richter, who actually starts with the silenced Uzi, I got the trophy for using every gun in the game.
Guns for sure. Use all guns at least once. Okay, amazing. I thought I was going to have to go out of my way to get that.
I then finally unlocked the final mask, which was a Ku Klux Klan hood. No, I'm just kidding. It was this guy, Charlie. But after I beat the level, I got the trophy for collecting all masks.
Zookeeper. Collect all the masks. That was a bit of a grind.
Right after that, I loaded into the prelude wearing Charlie's mask, and I also got that trophy.
Sounds of animals fighting. Wear all masks at least once.
The next thing I tried to do was to get A+ on every level, and this actually didn't end up being as torturous as I thought it would. If you selected the mask Zach, he gave you a longer combo window. So combos, obviously you get way more points for combining kills. And when you choose Zach, that window for getting the combo is way longer. I don't know why I explained that. Longer combo window is very self-explanatory. But if you chose Zach's mask and then just tried to speed run the level, you would usually get A+ if you got big enough combos. And this pretty much worked for every level except some I ended up raging at. Here's a rage compilation.
Nothing to load. The game's done. It's a 2-bit game.
By the way, all this was just because the level was taking too long to load in between deaths.
Played the level by now. Oh, for fuck's sake. What? Kill the dog. Kill the dog. Oh my god. Oh, just fuck off. You can't say the dog come. You can't in the. I hate this game. I can't wait to uninstall it.
In amongst all that rage, which by the way goes on for another 3 to 4 hours, I did get the trophy for going to the car 60 times.
60 car. Go to the car 60 times. Okay. I'm struggling to A+ this level, man.
After hours, I finally got A+ rank on all levels, and I was more relieved than the creepy PE teacher who doesn't cop any allegations for like the 13th year in a row. It was the best feeling.
Yes. Oh, I've done it. I thought I had one more. Oh, thank God. Thank God. I've never been so angry in my life.
After that, all I had to do was clean up the remaining few trophies. The first one I went for was for using all melee weapons in a game. This was actually very simple to get. You just got to load into Chapter 5, as Chapter 5 has a lot of random weapon spawns, and just keep restarting until you see the weapon you need to use. You can go on PSN profiles, and there's a list of every weapon. Some of them are level specific, so make sure to do those ones first, because they only spawn in certain areas. But if not, they will spawn in level 5 at some point. And the last one I needed here was for using the pan, and I got the trophy.
Pros, did it. Use all melee weapons at least once.
The next trophy was the exact same thing, so I used the exact same technique on Chapter 5, and I got kills with all throwing weapons.
Yes. Picture. Use all throwing weapons at least once.
The next trophy I went for was performing an execution with every weapon. An execution, what you can see there, it's when you knock someone to the ground and then use a weapon and just spam X on them and you do the execution. This again, I went through the guide, I went through every weapon one by one. Some of them only spawned in specific locations, like this one, which was the pot with the water in it. And then I went back into Chapter 5 and did it all again. And this trophy did not pop. And I just reloaded Chapter 5 for 2 hours and just did every weapon over and over again. But the trophy was bugged and it just wouldn't pop. So in the meantime, I decided to move on to some other stuff. I then knocked off 2 trophies at once by lining up these 3 enemies and throwing a bottle at them. Was it a bottle? Might have been a knife. Threw something at them and it got me a trophy, so who cares?
2 birds, 1 stone. Hit 2 enemies with the same weapon in 1 throw. Plain luck. Hit 3 or more enemies with the same weapon in 1 throw.
The next trophy couldn't have been easier. I just had to kill this guy who was on the toilet using a fire axe.
Well, something burning. Kill the crapping gangster with a fire axe.
I then had to beat level 2 using Nigel the Bat. This was actually very difficult as Nigel the Bat's mask inverts your controls. So, just really annoying. But luckily, I just platinumed the Time Splitters trilogy, which I had to play mostly inverted. So, I kind of had some experience with this. But this was maybe, apart from the A+ things, this was really difficult. Lucky they made it level 2, which was a pretty simple level.
Man, play Chapter 2 using Nigel the Bat.
The next trophy I went for was for completing Chapter 5 barehanded. This was really easy as I'd spent the last 2 hours playing just Chapter 5, so I knew the whole level off by heart. And also there is a mask called Tony the Tiger who has 1 kill punches. So he's literally one punch man. So you can just breeze through this level using his mask.
These are my guns. Complete Chapter 5 barehanded.
The next trophy was for killing these panthers using Brandon the Panther's mask. I knew they were panthers, by the way. I never should have doubted myself.
Cat fight. Kill the panthers around it.
The only trophy I had left was the buggy one for performing every ground kill. And after another hour and a half of methodically going through every weapon in the game, performing the ground kill, loading into the levels, I finally got it.
Yes. Yes. It was glitch. Oh my god. It's done. It's finally over.
That was Hotline Miami's Platinum. I do not recommend this game. The only saving grace is that it's relatively short for a more hard Platinum. PSN Profiles has it as a 5 out of 10, 10-hour Platinum. It took me 18 hours, and I'd honestly put it at a 7 or 8. Like, I've Platinumed all 3 Crash Bandicoot games, the original trilogy, which are 7 out of 10s, and they were easier than this. They were 100% easier than Hotline Miami. It's buggy. The mechanics are just wonky as. You pick up a weapon and you pick up a different weapon and you're dead. You get one shot. I could rant about this game for another half an hour. I hated it. I hated every second of it. I'm so glad it's over. I'm not doing the second one. Thanks for watching. Bye.